Hi guys, Carrie here, Canine Camp Dog Training with another top tip for 2020. Today's top tip is free feeding is not the best for dogs. Free feeding means we put the bowl of food down for Fluffy and the bowl of food stays down for Fluffy all day long. I know many people do this. Many people had a dog in their past. We hear this all the time. Well, my old dog, I used to leave the food out and he would just eat whenever he wants. There are definitely some dogs who will self-regulate, who will not overeat. But that's not the reason why we feel like self-feeding is not beneficial for your dog. The biggest reason that the very biggest reason that we feel like self-feeding is not great for dogs is because dogs who eat on a schedule usually eat their food right away. And if I give food to a dog who I know is a scheduled eater and who eats his or her food up right away and they don't eat, that is a very first indicator that something could be wrong health-wise with that dog. And so I can catch things usually pretty quicker than I could if I had a picky eater or a dog who just nibbled on their food throughout the day. So that's the number one reason. We are able oftentimes to catch sicknesses and provide support to lengthen the term of sicknesses much quicker than a dog who just picks up their food throughout the day. The other reason is that we often use food, even the dog's meals, as training tools, as training food, as training engagement. And so if we have a dog who's not a good eater, who just nibbles throughout the day, it makes it very difficult to engage and train and work with that dog. And so it's just in your dog's best interest to learn to eat on a schedule. I'm not saying that there's no dogs out there that this is completely black and white, but there are very few dogs that will starve themselves. People often say, well, they're not eating, they're hungry. Because they're wild creatures at heart, they will not starve themselves. So unless you're under an order of a veterinarian because your dog really is very thin, don't worry. Pick up their food after 20 minutes. They can go miss many meals, honestly. Can they miss not having water? No, just like us, they need to drink, but they can miss a few meals. And so if you start early and get them on a good schedule, picking their food up and stick to it, you'll find after a few days, they're going to figure out that they need to eat their food quicker, and it helps. And it definitely helps when you have multiple pet households and you're trying to bring in a new dog, especially a puppy for sure. So we definitely are advocates of getting your dog on a feeding and potty schedule, because if the dog eats at scheduled times, it's much easier to plan out when the dog needs to go potty and to make the potty breaks and the potty training much easier as well. So we are big fans and very much advocate structured feeding times, typically twice a day, morning and evening. The dog gets their meals, eats their meals, and is done. All right, have a great day.